Hello there, it's me, Larry Diamond, aka Paul Clements, aka The Ultimate. I'm here to tell you my supernatural ghost experience. I just watched Joe Manganaro's awesome story, and I know that I've got three tales of true terror, three true horror tales that have really happened to me in my life, and I am, by my own admission, into the occult. I use a lot of things like that in my life. I don't like to really explain that or go on about it because I don't. I basically, over the years, I've formulated my own my own spiritual system of magic and things like that. So I don't need anyone. I don't need anyone to know about that. But just to let you know, just so for one of the stories, it will give you an idea. Actually, two of the stories are probably the reason that I do sort of believe in that. Um, my belief in the occult and things like that is not 100% real. In that I sort of believe in duality, so I believe in things don't exist and they do. It's very hard to explain, but I'm a skeptic and a believer at the same time, and I just believe in mystery. Basically, I'm a sort of mystery cult leaning, chaotic sort of that sort of thing. It's very hard to explain, but part of the reason that I was always into that sort of thing. My brother was in a coven, um, and all my friends always doing things like that. I sort of never had a real, even though I sort of believed it in a romantic way from watching so many horror films. I think the thing about horror films, they're so romantic, and in a way, the idea of ghosts and vengeance and demons and things, it's awesome. It's so awesome. So that's what got me into it. But it was only until these three things happened, or two of the things, that really made me think, fucking hell, this is actually like, whoa, this is real sort of. The first thing I'll say, the first story I'll tell is actually just a quick one. I was at work. I work in a hospital, and quite often I'll see dead bodies and things like that. And I've stood in the middle of like an empty hospital ward where millions of people have died and stuff, just on my own, and just absolute silence, just looking around. And I never felt anything, never had anything. I work in a 300-year-old building. I sit in the toilet, I turn the light off, so I'm in pitch darkness. Nothing happens. I turn it on, nothing happens. See, I never get anything like that there. But what happened to me was just so weird, and it could be my subconscious warning me, something like that. But basically, I went in a room. They asked me to do a blood test on someone via. They write who they need a blood test for on little sheets, and I take it and I take their blood. I got the sheet. I walked in the room, and the guy was laying on the bed. I looked at his face, and I swear, absolutely swear to you, that he went like this. He literally, his tongue was, and he looked like he was pulling a mad face, like really quick. And it happened, and I saw it, and then he was just back to normal. I was like, oh, and I got a real feel like, oh god, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? Like, he's just done a mad face. And as that happened, I realised that he was fucking stone cold dead. The nurse came running in the room. She said, "Oh, sorry, I meant to take that blood form away from me. He passed away in the night." And I was like, "What the fuck?" I saw his fucking face, like. Ugh. So yeah, really, that really spooked the shit out of me. To be honest, that was just terrible. The other thing that happened to me was years ago. I was with someone else, and we were walking down a road underneath a thing called the viaduct. About midnight, we'd had dinner around our friend's house. Hadn't done any drugs or anything. Maybe had like one spliff. I mean, it's nothing. Had a like half bottle of red wine. Everything was pretty normal. And we just walked home. Right, as I walked down the viaduct, I just felt like everything went cold. And underneath the viaduct, it's a massive main road. There's like 4 lanes of traffic, and it's a very, very busy road. It's right in the middle of town, but it's a very long road. And in the distance, I could see a figure walking up the road, and it literally looked like the ghost in House on... Was it House on Haunted Hill that had the stop motion-y kind of go? It looked like it was in stop motion. So it was going like that up the road. It looks so fucking weird. And I swear the whole world just went grey and really cold. And I couldn't speak. And I was like, oh my fucking God. And I just kept walking. And I was trying to see it. And it literally looked like it had no head. It had no head. And over its body was a translucent veil that was going like that, shimmering like, and then its black legs were going, and I just thought, oh, and I've got a real horrible feeling inside that I should not look at it. Whatever I do, keep the fuck away from it. And that was without me even thinking. I felt like it was saying that to me in my brain. Anyway, to just sort of prove to myself that it was real, the person I was with pulled my arm without even saying anything, pulled my arm flying off across the road, didn't even look at the traffic because it's a really busy road, caned it across the road. So I hadn't actually said anything to that other person. I hadn't said, oh, what the fuck is that? They obviously were freaked as well. Pulled me across the road, and I'm not joking, I felt like, whatever you do, do not fucking look at it. Don't go up to it or anything. I walked past it and I didn't even look at what it was, but I could tell it was there, and it was like this is all without saying a word. This is what I mean. And I could feel the person I was with gripping my hand, and we both just, as soon as we got to the bottom of the road past it, we both ran, and I've never run so fast in my life. We both ran all the way to Upper Lewis Road, which is a long way. We ran and ran and ran. And when we stopped running, all the person I was with was saying was, is it following us? Is it following us? Is it? Oh, it's following us. And she was really, really, really absolutely shitting herself. I was shitting myself, and I thought, what the... And I absolutely thought I've had an encounter with something fucking unbelievable. It was an unnameable thing. I'm not joking. And I always want to go up to like things. You know, I always like to think from watching horror films. If I saw a demonic thing or something really creepy or like Jason, I want to just go up to it, and go, I love you. Like, let me join you, because I always want to join the baddies. Come on, I always want to join the baddies in all films. I always wanted to be Jason's like pal, his sidekick. Rather than, yeah, that'd be great. But I always want to, so for me to not even want to look at it as I walk past, and I knew that I had to keep the fuck away from it. So it was just that just blew my mind. And the only thing I can think of that's similar to that is the Mothman, the stories of the Mothman. That it didn't have the red eyes, but it had no head, or it looked like its head was down there. It had a black round thing, but it was down there, and it's really, really odd. And the Mothman, of course, appears underneath bridges and viaducts and things. So, but I don't know what the fuck that was. I felt like it was something from another fucking dimension, or like just something was going on. But yeah, it was absolutely terrifying. The third thing is very important to me. It's very close to me, and it's actually something which really made me think, that the world isn't real. Like Tales from the Dark Side says, the world we perceive to be real is not real. The world is an illusion. Time doesn't exist. If you get far enough out in space, time's just completely all over the fucking place. So time doesn't really truly exist. And that's why it's so important that you're sort of nice to people, that you get a good life, that you don't fuck up too much. Because everything you do is forever, basically. It's bang there forever. You may do things in other dimensions. There are like multiple universes, so The thing to do in life is to feel your way through. Make sure you're always doing what you feel to be right, because that way you're actually going through your perfect dimension. And every time you turn around a corner and a car hits you, bang, you are dying in that moment. But the version of you that didn't do that carries on living, and your consciousness, I think, can just travel between them all to make sure that you're following your perfect route. And but that's just a weird theory but this is what sort of gave me that theory, is just, or made me give me a better belief in it, is I had a fucking crazy encounter, like a real, as I say, I've always been into the occult, and I know when a spirit or a demon or anything appears in those sort of systems, which I don't really believe, and I don't think I think people most of the time seeing what they want to see, or they've drummed up so much ritualistic belief that they're going to see something they have to really to justify themselves. But this kind of turned all that on its head. I was laying in bed with my wife. Now, my wife and I had only been with her for like 2 months or something. It was very early in our relationship, so she didn't know me that well. And I lived in a really creepy house with like no windows. Had an evil, angry stepdad living with us on his own. Kept bursting in the door. I was sleeping with a hammer under my bed and a knife in case he went mental, which he did occasionally. So we were living in kind of a really creepy place. And I was laying in the room. She went to sleep. It was really late. It was like fucking 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Well, that's not really late, but it was actually quite early for me at the time because I was a barman. But yeah, we were laying there. And I was laying in bed. And I just saw this black thing, like a black shadow person, come flying over, and it scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh fuck no. I was like, oh no, what the fuck? And it came over, and I'd seen it before. Like, whenever one of my pets died the night before, I'd always see a black I used to call it death. I'd say, oh, death's there, oh no, someone's gonna die, honestly. And then always the next day my hamster be dead or something be dead. I know that's creepy in its own right, but that always happened to me. I don't know why. This time it was huge, and it came right down to my face. And laying in bed and have a black shadow person come down to your face is not what you want to happen. And I basically said to it, I am the all powerful one in this situation. I am in command of you, which is what you're meant to say in demonology and things like that. No, you keep away from me, please. You're in my face. And I was almost saying it out loud. I was like, keep away, like, whoever you are, you're scaring me now. Can you just back off, sort of thing? And it just was, and it wasn't going. It was freaking me out. I said, can you please get away? And it sort of backed off. And then Hayley woke up. She's like, what is it, Paul? And I was like, and I basically told her, which I shouldn't, and she shit herself. And I jumped out of bed, turned the light on, and she was freaking out because I told her what I'd seen. And she was like, oh, she'd only just been going out with me about 2 months. She was fucking terrified. I was like, fucking hell. And I said to her, right, this has happened to me before. It means that either one of my relatives is dead, one of my ex-girlfriends is dead, or someone really close to me is dead. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. And I thought, fucking hell, that was just extreme. And anyway, I worked in a pub at the time, working in a bar. And all week I was telling people the story over and over and over again. I was telling the story for a whole week. And after a week, people aren't stupid. They remembered my story. And they remembered my prediction. And they were calling me out on it. And they were saying, oh, Paul, what happened with that, that thing? And loads of people were asking me. I said to them, I haven't heard anything yet, but, you don't know if it's an ex or a close friend. You might not know yet. Now, my family is very disjointed and it's completely shattered, both sides of it. So they don't no one sort of tells me anything. basically my nan, who lives on an island off of the Kent coast, both my nans lived on the island or whatever. My nan had seen my other nan's obituary in the fucking paper, and when I look back, when I went to her funeral and everything later on, basically she had fucking died that night, and she died. Basically, she went up to get some porridge, sat on a chair, had a heart attack, and died. And it was about in the night. You know, in the night. It was like midnight sort of thing. She got up in the night. So, and I was born on the same day as her. She's got the same birthday as me. And so it turned out that that's what it was. My own fucking nana died. And how the fuck can anyone explain that? I mean, I can't fucking explain it. It's fucking insane. And I took blood out of a guy that was a paranormal investigator thing. And because I always like to have weird conversations with the people when I'm sticking a fucking needle in them, this guy said that he didn't think that it was a ghost. He thought that it was her panicking and like almost astrally projecting, or that it was her spirit was coming out as she was dying and like trying to like beg me to save her something, which is a bit horrible thing for him to say, but you don't know. What the fuck? I don't fucking know. That's the thing, in religion, in spirituality, in magic, whether anyone tells you they know, they're a fucking liar. They know the truth. They know why things are going on. No one knows why anything's going on. No one knows. That's why you've got to keep it on the mystery shit. You know, that's the problem. That's why I don't do the Bible or anything like that. It's because any book that says they know, any person, I don't fucking know, but what I do know is that it happened. I was there. It shit me up. And then a week or a week and a half later, I got the fucking news that it was fucking real. You know? And that it's just that is fucked. But the thing is, that happened after the demon thing, the weird fucking entity thing. So does that mean the weird entity thing was real as well? Oh! And does that mean... But why was the guy going... And then he weren't, and then was that his spirit? Was it his ghost? Ah! What do you think, Mr. Skelly Bones? I think that hang on, look. I think that is fucked up. There you go.